Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the 12th edition of Random Ramblings with Randomonium. I am your host, Randomonium, and I just want to wish everybody a very happy 4th of July. And I'm quite happy today because not only is this the birthday of the greatest nation on the planet, but this is also the last tryout game that I'm going to cast. So I'm very happy about that. I won't have to play Thresh anymore. I get to go back to being in the jungle again, so I'm very happy about that. But I want you guys to know that I have saved the best tryout game for last. This game is a ton of fun. So anyway, our team, we've got Volibear in the top lane. We have Nidalee in the jungle. Annie will be our mid. Kalista is our ADC, and I will be playing Thresh as support. And we're going up against Hecarim in top lane, a Master Yi in the jungle. They have a Lux mid, a Varus ADC, and a Braum as support. So Nid's already getting some pretty good poke on Braum. He's trying to, do some stuff right underneath a ward. Not exactly the smartest play. But Nid's going to start red side. And there's a little thing I want to show you guys when your jungler starts red side, how you can help them out a little bit more. Anyway, so crows are going to spawn, and Kalista's going to attack the large Krog, and I'm going to attack the small Krog. This allows me and Kalista to attack a little bit longer, so that Nidalee gets a better leash, and also it draws the small Krog away from her, so that she doesn't take damage from that small Krog. So she finishes off her first camp, and she hasn't taken pretty much any damage whatsoever. So this is going to help your jungler get ahead, allow them to clear faster, allow them to gank quicker with higher health, and overall it's going to be much better for your team. So anytime you can get like a small advantage like that, it can translate into something a lot bigger. But you can see right now that Hecarim and Volibear are already starting to be pretty aggressive with each other. And Volibear gets level 2 first, so this is a time where he can all-in pretty much. And that's exactly what he does. He all-ins. Hecarim gets level 2, but he's at a huge disadvantage as far as health. So that's exactly what you want to do, is try to all-in your opponent if you get that level advantage. But here Volley's continuing to be aggressive, still looking for that engage. He's still got his passive. So you can see he engages here, but he's in turret range. So you're not going to win this trade if you're in turret range at level 2. So right now this is a big mistake by Volley, and he's going to wind up having to flash to get away from this. The ignite's going on, but he's got his passive, so he should survive it. But that was definitely a mistake. And you can see that he's not even near Hecarim, and Hecarim dies. And the reason why Hecarim dies is Hecarim never backed out far enough to get away from minion aggro. So Hecarim didn't die because of something that Volibear did. He died because of something he did wrong. So yep, Volibear, great job getting first blood, but you definitely owe your minions some help there, because they're the ones who actually got you that kill. So alright, let's go back and down to the bot lane, and I think it's kind of important to talk about the different types of lanes you can have in a bot lane. So kind of in general, there are 3 kind of strategies with laning. There are kill lanes, there are poke lanes, and there are sustain lanes. So kill lanes are going to be looking to get that all in. They're looking to get those kills early on to set the other team behind. Poke lanes are going to be looking to poke the other lane, get them low health, and then either force them to recall or get them into a bad trade where they can possibly get a kill. And then sustain lanes, the way that they get the advantage is they constantly poke and harass, and then they can just heal up the damage. So over time, they'll get a health advantage, which allows them to get the kill. So in general, usually kill lanes have an advantage over sustain lanes, because the sustain lanes can't compete as far as damage-wise with the kill lanes. But poke lanes have an advantage over kill lanes, because they can just poke down the kill lane, and if the kill lane tries to all in them, then they'll lose. And then Poke lanes usually have a disadvantage over sustain lanes because sustain lanes can just heal up that poke damage and then basically just, you know, win the trade in the long run. But anyway, our Nidalee ganked, so I'm going to just back it up real fast so we can take a look at this real quick. So this is good. She gets a raptor buff. She knows that there's not a ward here. And Annie zones Lux down to the bot side, and this is a great engage. It forces a flash by Lux. And it actually also forces her barrier as well. So you can see Nid landing a lot of really great spears here. Almost kills her with that spear. So normally you would say, alright, well that was a great gank, we're going to stop Lux from backing. But we're going to take a look at what she continues to do. Annie was 7 CS up right now. You can see Nid just keeps firing spears, keeps delaying Lux. And Lux can't do anything. She can't back, she can't do anything right now. So this entire time she's falling behind in CS. So Nidalee engages on Yi. And because Lux is such low health, Annie can rotate faster. You can see this is great by Nidalee backing up because now the distance between her and Annie is much lower than the distance between Yi and Lux. So we come in, get the stun, get the spear off, really chunk out Yi right off the bat. Annie gets caught in the bind, which allows Yi to get escape a little bit. But as soon as that bind wears off, Annie makes a great play by flashing over this wall and getting the kill. So that's automatically Annie's in the lead right now. Now Lux is forced to retreat. So Annie gets another stun off. Nid goes in for the kill, unable to get it though. Good job actually backing out before she takes that second turret shot. But Nid still isn't going to let Lux back. She's going to continue to delay her backing this entire time. And this entire time Annie's just getting a larger and larger lead. So Lux is finally allowed to back. And Annie's just in a huge commanding lead right now. It actually didn't hurt Nidalee that much either because Yi was dead. So Nidalee didn't fall behind at all. And Lux is really far behind now. So we're going to just speed up and I'll just show you how far behind Lux is when she gets back to lane. So Lux gets back to lane right now. And you can see that she's 16 CS down. And Annie's got that kill, which translates into about 600 gold. So 300 of that gold is from the kill. The other 300 gold is the CS advantage. So that CS advantage is huge. And that was all because Nid would not let Lux back. So now Annie basically has a 2 kill advantage over Lux. Just based off of that 1 kill and the CS difference. And that's really going to allow Annie to kind of snowball the lane and kind of bully Lux around. You can see that Yi comes down to try and gank us, but we got the ward already down there. There's a good rotation by Nid. She's coming down to assist just in case Yi tries to all in us. Yi backs off, but Nid comes in, so we're going to try and go in on them. So I lay my hook on Varus. I come in, but I flay the wrong way. That's definitely a mistake by me. I flay the wrong way. He's able to flash, so I don't think we would have gotten that kill regardless, and he actually also burns heal. I don't think we would have gotten that kill anyway, but if I had flayed him the opposite direction, we probably would have gotten a lot more damage on him and probably forced him out of lane. So, small mistake by me, good gank by Nid. So anyway, Nid's going to go back to the jungle, and E is actually going to look for an invade. It's kind of risky by him. He comes around, he's actually going to look for red, get some deep wards. He finds Nidalee, and pretty much as soon as he engages, we're already backing off to try and help Nid. She does a good job escaping, But yeah, we're not going to be able to catch him. He's quite quick. So, pretty ballsy play by Yi to go for red when he knows that we were in the area. He didn't have vision that we recalled right there. But I'm going to speed it up a little bit, try to cut down as much of the game time as possible, give you guys the best product that I can. So their bot lanes recalled, and now we're just going to push up again. Alright. So Hecarim's trying to farm up the jungle, trying to get back that that kill. Volley and Hecarim are continuing to trade. Good flip by Volley. Pretty good engage. I don't think he needs to burn his ult right here because Hecarim's right under the tower, so it's going to be very difficult for Volley to get the kill. So he kind of wastes that that ult a little bit. But what I really like here is what he's doing here. He's kind of baiting the Hecarim. He kind of waits. He's patient. He's got a huge health advantage. As soon as Hecarim comes close, yeah, it's all she wrote right there. No need to flash there. The Rolling Thunder would have definitely caught up to him. But he gets the kill. So, yeah, definitely no need to flash there. But I like the fact that you got the kill. So I land a hook onto Varus, and we pretty much all end them right there. I land my box. And they kind of make a mistake here where they both use their ult at the exact same time. So, you know, the CC doesn't stack. So instead of chaining their CC together, they use it both at the same time. And that gives us a pretty good advantage. Use my lantern to get a little bit of extra shield, and we burn heal. And Kalista's able to get the kill onto Varus. So let me turn on to Braum. And it's going to be pretty easy for us to get the kill onto Braum. And I know exactly when I need to back out to make sure that Braum can't kill me. Braum has to flash to get away, but it's still not going to be enough. Good pierce by Kalista to come forward and get that last auto attack on him. But we're both pretty low health, and we get this teleport from Yi. So great job by Kalista to shoot me out, to get me away from him. Unfortunately, I don't have my lantern. It's still on cooldown, so I do my best to try and flay him. But and I flash, but he is still able to get the kill. This is a little tricky play by him right here. That was actually great. He healed up right before the tower shot him, and then he ran away to get out of tower range. So Volley teleports down, and Nid's coming here, and Yi does the correct thing and just executes on the tower. So we burn our flash on Nid and our teleport, and we don't get anything out of it because Yi just executes. So trying to make the best of the situation, we're just going to go for Dragon. Right, because we know that their jungler is down, we know their bot lane is down, so we can rotate to Dragon pretty easily. So they're going to come up, they're going to try and fight it, but it's pretty much impossible. Varus actually gets off a really good shot right here to try and steal, and Nid doesn't smite, which I'm not exactly sure why she doesn't. But yeah, I would have been pretty pissed off if Varus was able to steal that and Nid didn't smite. But we're able to get it anyway. So Volibear is trying to back right now, but Annie's being really aggressive. So Volibear has to stay here to try and just fend off both Lux and Yi. And I don't like the fact that he's just like continuing to push up. Like, just get him to back off and then just leave. Because right now, Hecarim just took your top tower. So I'm going to pause real fast, and we're going to take a look at this, right? Because Volibear's 2-0, and Hecarim's 0-2. So Volibear should have the lead, but because Volibear is over 10 CS behind Hecarim, and Hecarim got that tower, if you go to the actual gold, it's only about 150 gold advantage. So even though Volibear worked really hard to get that advantage with those kills, he basically squandered it because he doesn't have as good CS, and he let Hecarim get that top tower. So kind of the moral of the story is that Volibear, you're putting too much emphasis on kills. Like, there's no reason to try and teleport down here to try and get a kill on Hecarim if it causes you to give up a tower, right? So CS, most important thing, then objectives like towers, then kills is third priority. You don't want to give Hecarim a chance to get back into the game when you fought so hard to get that advantage in top lane. So anyway, we'll speed this up. And they're continuing to push up. Yeah, they've got a ward here, but it's about to actually time out. So I can see the Nid's coming around for a gank, so I'm looking to try and engage on them right here. So Braum comes up forward like this, and this is just asking for me to hook him. So that's exactly what I do. So we're going to engage on Braum. I'm expecting Nid to come down, but she actually stops to clear out this ward. So this is kind of a minor mistake by Nidalee. Like, great, yeah, you found a ward, but I don't really care about this ward. I care about the team fight that's going on down here, and the fact that you can turn this team fight into a really huge advantage for us. So anyway, I use my box, we're able to deal a ton of damage, they burn their heal. Kalista uses her ult to save me, and then I come back in to get the kill on Braum, and then Nidalee comes down, and she's able to, even though Varus flashes, she's able to chase him down, use her Chilling Smite, and basically get the kill. So we get a double kill out of that. Well, we probably wouldn't have to have burned Kalista's ult if Nid had gotten down there a little bit sooner and not stopped to clear out that ward. So Kalista's doing a good job. She's gonna hard push that lane because we just got double kill. Get all these minions to die on the tower because that's gonna deny the bot lane gold. It's gonna deny them experience, so they're gonna fall further behind. And then you can just freely back and buy, and you don't have to worry about it. So anyway, moving on. I get back to lane first. Braum's doing a good job as a support, getting some wards up. He wards Tribush, realizes there's a pink there, and I realize he's out of position. So I'm going to rotate, I'm going to try and trade with him. And I know that Nid and Kalista are coming, so I pretend like, oh crap, I'm out of position, I need to retreat. So they kind of all in me. That's kind of a bait on my part. So then I turn, land the hook on Braum, and actually I cause Nid to miss her spear because of that, unfortunately. But yeah, they're gonna try and escape. We use Chilling Smite, use our exhaust on Braum, able to get an easy kill on him. Alright, so we're continuing to dominate bot lane pretty well. Mid lane had that advantage early game, is continuing to snowball. And Volibear, he got those 2 early kills, and he's finally starting to catch up in CS. That's pretty good. So overall, we're doing really well in all 3 lanes. Now that we've hit kind of like this mid-game part, kind of recovered and getting a pretty good lead. So Nid comes over, smites the wolves, gets the wolf spirit, and see, she's gonna look to back here. But Yi gets seen by this wolf spirit here, so Nid's gonna come around and gank him. She lands a great spear on him, and that's pretty much all she wrote for Yi. I like how Nid backs off to go up towards Volibear to try and get Yi to chase, and this allows her to get her cooldowns to come off, so she can get another spear off. Does a great job leading Yi and gets that kill. So Annie's rotating up to try and help to deal with Lux, but she gets caught and winds up actually getting killed. That's not a huge deal. I mean, she's still got a pretty good lead, But yeah, you never want to get caught out if you can avoid it. Alright, so we're continuing to push this top, or this correction of this bot lane. And we're dominating them pretty well. I mean, we've got like a 50 CS advantage on Kalista. So, they're trying real hard to try and do something to stop this bot lane. Because Kalista's going to turn into an absolute nightmare if they can't shut her down. And soon. Let's see if we've got good ward coverage. I'm not too worried about a gank here. But one thing that you don't really plan for a lot of times on teams is the teams that have 2 teleports. And that's actually what this team has. Both their Yi and their Hecarim have a teleport, which gives them the opportunity to do kind of very uncharacteristic plays, like a double teleport, which is exactly what they're doing right now. So we spot it, and you can see Braum flashes forward, Hecarim charges in, Yi blows his ult. I throw my lantern to Kalista because they go on to her, and she's able to grab it and pull herself to safety. So they burn a lot in that first couple seconds to try and get us. Yi's ult is down, Varus' ult's down, Braum's flash is down. So they're kind of committed at this point. And you can tell that they're gonna look to try and do this all in. They've already got Lux rotating down, so it's a 5v2 in bot lane. And Volibear is asking like, hey, do I need to teleport? Do I need to teleport? And I'm like, no, not yet. We can hold it off right now. I've got Nid and Annie rotating. Just keep pushing top lane. Try to get top tower. So we're just kind of trying to delay, trying to get at least a tower out of this, and then that way, once the tower's down, then he can teleport. So I land a hook on Hecarim, but it's not really the good time to go in. We burn Braum's ult, which is at least is a good trade. And we're just continuing to just try and poke and delay, waiting for Annie to come around to help us. But I kind of back up into this choke point here, and I feel like we've got a pretty good advantage of this choke point. There's no real way for them to engage on Kalista, so I go in and I land my box, which is going to wind up slowing them. Kalista's kind of really far up here, and she gets engaged on Hecarim pretty hard. She burns her heal, but it's actually not going to be enough, and she winds up dying. So we get the tower, so Volibear comes in to teleport. So it's a 4v5, but they're kind of low health. But Volibear's a little bit caught out here. So I come up, I'm going to try and just help Volibear as much as I can. I'm able to land the hook onto Hecarim, which gives us enough time that Annie can get up here. And as soon as Annie shows up, she can use her Tibbers and deals a ton of damage to Yi and Hecarim. And we wind up getting a double kill, pretty much right off the bat. So now we've lost one person, they've lost 2, but both their Varus and their Lux are kind of high health. So you can see that Nid's doing a good job just staying out in these outskirts, just trying to land her poke as much as possible. And Annie's also doing a good job just trying to screen for me and Volibear. So they go in on Annie really hard. I land my hook onto Braum, and because he's just so close to the tower, this is going to allow us to pick up a kill onto Braum. So now it's a 4v2 in our favor. So Varus and Lux are going to go in hard on me. I use my lantern, and I'm able to survive with just 34 hit points. And then Nid goes in really hard onto Lux to try and basically end the fight on her. And Volibear does a great engage onto Varus to knock him back so that Annie and Volibear can kill Varus. Nid flashes back into the brush and is able to throw off a really great spear, which allows us to get the ace. So that winds up being a 4-for-1 for us. And that basically just, that single team fight and getting that top tower, it basically increases our gold lead by 3,000 gold. So it's kind of important here to just talk about how you can get gold from the non-CS. Because that one team fight just completely changes the course of the game. So the first way you can get kills, obviously, is your The first way you can get gold is kills. So the base gold for kills is 300, and this can be increased or decreased depending on whether the person you kill is on a killing spree or whether they're on a death spree. So if they're on a killing spree, you can get up to 500 gold from that one person. And if they're on a death spree, you can get as little as 58 gold for the kill. So in a team fight, it's super important to kill the carries, not just because the carries are going to be the ones that are going to kill your entire team, but also because the carries give a lot more gold than the supports and the tanks. On the flip side, if you're in a team fight and things go badly and you're trying to retreat, you want to protect the carries at all costs because they're worth more money. So if you need to sacrifice somebody, you want to sacrifice either the support or the tank because you're going to give the other team less gold for that kill. And then if somebody who's on a killing spree dies, or if somebody who's on a losing or a death streak gets a kill, that bounty gets reset to 300 gold. Second way that you can get a lot of gold are assists, right? So anytime your team helps you get a kill, they get 50% of your kill gold split between them. So on top of your kill gold, they get 50% split between them. So this is why you don't want to go for solo kills if you can avoid it, because not only are solo kills much riskier because you don't have that numbers advantage, but you lose out on that assist gold if you get a solo kill, right? That 50% extra gold, you don't get that if you don't have anybody to assist you. So you always want to try and wait for somebody to be able to get that assist so they can get that extra gold. Furthermore, for those supports and tanks, if you have more assists than kills, you actually get more gold per assist, and it actually caps out at about 60 gold. So every single time you get an assist, you'll get 60 more gold if you're a support or a tank and you have a lot of assists already. And that might not seem like a lot, but over the course of the game that can be 500 or 1,000 gold. So what this basically kind of translates into is you want to funnel those kills onto your carry and not take any kills for yourself, because that's going to ensure that you're going to get extra gold for assists, and that way if a team fight goes poorly and you end up having to sacrifice yourself as a support or a tank, they're not going to get any gold for it. They're only going to get like 100 or 200 gold as opposed to 500 gold for killing your carries. And that brings me to the final way that you can get gold besides CS, and this is actually the most important one, and that's towers, right? Towers are so important because they open up the map and they give global gold. Global gold means that everybody on your team gets gold. So if you take an outer turret, you get 125 global gold. If you take an inner turret, you get 150 global gold. If you take an inhib tower, you get 175 global gold. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but remember that each person gets that gold. So that means that for an outer turret, you get 600 gold for your team. If you get an inner turret, you get 750 gold for your team. And if you get an inhib turret, that's 875 gold for your team. So that's huge. That's a huge amount of gold for your team. That gives you a huge advantage, way more than you can ever get from a single kill. So anytime you have the opportunity to either go for a kill or go for a tower, you want to go for the tower. That's going to allow your team to get much further ahead than a single kill. So anyway, always remember what your priorities are for winning the game, right? CS is the most important thing. That CS lead is going to allow you to get those kills. The next is objectives like dragons and towers. That's going to give you that global gold, give you those global advantages to allow your team to snowball. And the least important priority are kills. Kills are the least important. Always go for CS or go for objectives over kills. So anyway, getting back to the game, they just all in as bot lane. And now they're going to all in us again because they blew everything they had. Now they're going to try it again. So you can see that Yi and Hecarim are coming down. Our Nid gets caught out pretty badly. Hecarim burns his ult. I try to come over here to use my lantern to allow Nid to escape, but it's too late. And now, as soon as Nid dies, they're going to try and rotate onto Kalista. And because I used my lantern, I can't use my lantern on Calista, so that's kind of a mistake on my part. But they go in on Calista, I throw out my hook to try and catch Yi, and I do. Calista's forced to flash, and that's actually a really great flash on her, because this is going to allow her to get under tower. And it'll give us at least a chance, because we're in a 2v4, and our teleport is down. So Varus misses on his ult. I land my box right here. And this is what the reason why I'm doing this is I'm going to just make it painful for them if they want to try and dive us. I'm saying, yeah, you can dive us, it's a 4v2, but I'm going to make sure you take a ton of tower shots in order to get this dive. You can see they continue on. They're going to continue to dive in. I continue to try and just delay as much as possible. My whole goal here is just delay, delay, delay. Let the tower do its work. Let Calista do her work. So they engage in on me. I land another hook onto Yi, and I wind up dying because of it. But Calista gets the kill on Braum. Now they're still in tower range. Their main tank is down. So Calista's going to go to work, get the kill on Yi. Varus is taking tons of tower shots right now, and Hecarim's trying to escape, but Calista is doing a great job with her hop, just basically cutting off any chance he has to escape. So Varus is forced to burn his flash, and Calista is able to get the triple kill. So that was a fantastic job by both me and Calista, just basically zoning the enemy, delaying the tower dive, just delaying them as much as possible, and allows Calista to get a triple kill out of it. So that's a 3-for-2 kill, and this entire time, Volibear is pushing top lane. So Volibear is going to wind up getting this top lane, this inner turret, and because Varus is so low, he's going to have to wind up backing. So you can see that Calista is going to basically just clear out the CS, and then she's just going to push bottom tower as well. So not only did we get a 3-for-2 kill advantage, but we get 2 towers out of that. And that gives us another 3,000 gold lead. So just in 4 minutes, we increase our gold lead from 3.3k gold to 8.6k gold in 4 minutes. Just by playing safe, playing conservative, focusing on objectives. Alright, so our mid laner starts to lag a lot here, and you can see she's just standing there, not really helping. So that definitely sucks because she was doing very well up until this point. So Calista does this really cool, she draws me in for the ult, and I knock in Varus. I land a point blank hook, which draws him in, and then I flame the wrong direction. That's definitely a minor mistake on my part. But with the exhaust, it's going to be enough that we're going to get the kill. And you can see that we don't overstay. We're not going to try and chase Braum up here. We're just going to wait, play conservatively, make sure that we don't give up any kills back to him. So we're continuing to push bot tower. And it's just basically providing support for us, just in case they try to all-in us. So one of the really important things in League is just wave management, right? You always want to try and have the waves pushing, because that's going to allow you to take objectives. So you can see that Volibear is just pushing really hard. He's doing a really great job just split pushing this whole time. And Nid knows that somebody's going to come up here to try and contest against Volibear. So she's coming up to assist. So she throws out her spear, but gets a minion block there, unfortunately. And we're going to engage onto Yi. Good flash, gets the chilling smite. Yi uses his ult. But even with all of that, it's not enough, and we're able to get the kill. So when something like this happens, you're this far up, you gotta anticipate that the rest of his team is coming. They're coming to help. You can see that Hecarim and Braum are coming up. They go on opposite sides, which is kind of not ideal, and then Braum uses his ult right away, which is also not ideal. So they're kind of already not liking this engagement, so they try to escape. Volibear kind of helps Braum out by flipping him towards his base, and then Braum flashes. Looks like he's gonna escape, but Nid does a very good job just getting that kill. So good job by Volibear and Nidalee. Wind up getting 2 kills for the team and force Hecarim to back off. So the rest of this time, me and Callista are going to be trying to push mid lane. So we're basically going to do a split push because it's 5v3 right now. So we're going to devote 2 people to top lane, 2 people to mid lane. So the only way that they can stop this is to put 3 people in top lane, which is going to allow us to push the other lane. So you can see how quickly Nidalee is able to just knock down this tower. And meanwhile, Nidalee and Volibear are doing a great job. Just continuing to work, continuing to just pressure this tower. As you can see here, we come in. We only see Varus here, so they kind of go in for this, basically try to all-in Varus, and it winds up being a poor decision, because Varus has got help. He's got that Hecarim, the Braum, and now they're trying to chase, right? They want this kill on Volibear, so they're chasing out. So me and Callista are going to rotate up, and Volibear does a great job coming down towards us. You always want to rotate towards your team. So I kind of land my lantern, land a hook onto Hecarim because he's the one who's got all that mobility, and then I land my box. Alright, now let's look at this. This entire time, Callista is outside the box in this choke point, and she's just dealing massive damage and not taking any damage herself. And the rest of the time, the only person that Varus can attack is me. So I'm protecting Volley. Varus can't get any damage onto either Volley or Callista, which are the 2 people he wants to get damage onto. And that's going to allow us to get a triple kill pretty easily. So you can see that Annie's lagging. She tries to use her Tibbers, but just completely misses. And we continue to try to get some damage on Lux, but she's definitely going to escape. So we're going to continue to do this split push. But now, Volibear is just really low health, and he doesn't have anybody to assist him, because Nidalee died earlier. This is kind of a mistake on his part. He wants this tower too badly. This tower is going to fall. You don't have to risk yourself getting killed in order to get it. So you're going to see that Volibear winds up dying. But because Yi rotates up, the only person who can defend is Lux, and that's going to allow us to push down this tower. Alright, so we don't want to make the same mistake that Volibear made. So we're going to try and make sure that we don't overstay. We want this inhibitor, but we're not going to die for it. So anytime they try to look like they're going to engage, we're going to back off. And really what we're trying to do here is we're just trying to delay. We're trying to keep their attention in base, so that way the Nidalee can come around here and get another dragon. So you can see that this entire time, anytime they look like they're going to posture to engage, we back up. And then anytime they back off, we try to just keep their attention. Make sure that they can't do any type of sneaky plays trying to take the dragon from us. So we get the inhib, so there's no reason to fight anymore, and the dragon falls right afterwards. Now we're going to back out. Alright, so we just decided to try and go for red, but yeah, definitely not a right call, so we back out. Notice how, like, yeah, I saw the pink, but I'm not going to stick around and try and clear out that pink when their entire team, so there's no point in doing that. So, Volibear sees Yi with these wards, so he's going to come over here, and he's feeling like some Wuju barbecue right now. So, Yi realizes he's caught out, uses his ult. Then for some reason he decides to fight. I don't know why you would want to fight a giant bear that can devour you. But anyway, Volibear gets a snack. I'm sure he's pretty happy now. And you can see that Hecarim's just trying to escape at this point, smartly. Okay, so we're continuing to posture. We're going to try and continue to push in. And we've got, it's a 4v4 right now, because I'm not quite there yet. But Volibear lands this good flip onto Lux, and I engage like 100% onto Volibear. So in a team fight, you don't want to go for the tank. You can see that the rest of our team is trying to go for Lux, but they're trying to go in on Volibear. So Hecarim does a good job. He realizes, oh, I don't want to be fighting this tank, so he goes in on Callista. You can see that their carries are in no position to assist their tanks. Their carries are running backwards and not dealing damage this entire time. So you can see that Volibear is just pretty much soloing Braum right now. Callista's is able to jump back a lot. We're able to get the kill onto Braum, and then now it's basically we can just 3v1 Hecarim. Great heal by Callista to keep Annie alive. So we get another kill. And then I finally arrive into the fight. So we're looking to push in and end the game at this point, right? They've got 2 players down, death timer is about 30 seconds. We're going to be looking for it to end the game. However, the biggest mistake that a lot of teams make in this situation is they overstay. So you want to make sure that you don't overstay in these type of fights. So we wind up getting first turret, and you can see death timers are slowly starting to tick down. So we want this win, right? We can smell it, we want to get it, but we really don't have the minion waves to try and get it. So we're in a very risky scenario right now. You can see 5 seconds left on Hecarim. Thankfully there's still about 15 seconds left on Varus. But as soon as Hecarim comes up, they realize they have to all in us. And we're very low health. So I use my box to try and zone Hecarim, because he's the main threat against our carries, to try and get to that back line. He's able to get the kill onto Nidalee, and then he immediately turns onto Annie, and there's not much we can really do to stop him from killing Annie as well. So automatically they get a double kill. Now we're in full retreat mode. Volibear's retreating. I use my flay to just try and get them away from me. Great job by Callista to save me with her ult. This entire time she's just hopping back every single time. Great use of her passive. Callista looks like she's going to die, so I use my hook to just basically delay Hecarim some more. Just give her as much time as possible. My whole job in life right now is to keep Callista alive. So I use my exhaust, try to keep Hecarim off of her. And she's able to get the kill on Hecarim. They're continuing to fight us, but Callista's doing a ton of damage to Braum. Lux is able to kill me, but we're able to get the kill back on the Braum. Now the next person that Callista focuses to is Yi, and is able to get the triple kill. Now it's just Callista versus Lux, but Varus has just spawned. So Callista deals a ton of damage because Lux's abilities are still on cooldown, and winds up getting the quadra kill. So now it's just 1 versus 1. And at this point in the game, Callista's got 482 health versus Varus's 1400. So who thinks that Callista can go in and get the pentakill? So Varus misses with his Q, good job avoiding it by Callista. She immediately hops forward, and Varus realizes he's in a whole lot of trouble. Continues to hop forward, she's got the minions protecting her. Varus uses his heal, but Callista immediately rends so that to get the slow, and she winds up getting the pentakill. So fantastic job by Callista, gets the pentakill, gets the ace, and we get the win. So anyway, obviously this is the end of the game. Fantastic game. Loved watching it, loved casting it. So I'm going to go over real quick, kind of the good, bad, and ugly for each player. So alright, so for our Volibear top lane, what you did poorly was you got cocky in the mid game, and it cost you your life more than once. Um, you also, just because of minor mistakes that you made, it resulted you in being down about 10 CS at the 10-minute mark, and it also resulted in your tower going down first, which basically negated your gold lead that you had gotten by getting those 2 kills early game. Also, you need to work on your warding. You bought 0 pinks the whole game, and you placed only 6 wards the whole game. And also, we're about 27 minutes into the game, you're level 16, you still haven't upgraded your trinket. Right? It's super important that you upgrade your trinket at level 9, because not only does it give you an extra ward that you can place, it also increases the duration of your trinket wards by a minute. So definitely work on upgrading that trinket at level 9. As far as what you did well, you dominated Hecarim in lane, and you were constantly looking for ways to impact other lanes with your roams and your TPs. So that was a great job. You did a fantastic job split pushing and punishing them whenever they tried to all-in a spot lane. You got 2 towers because they tried to all-in a spot lane. So that was a fantastic job. For a jungler, kind of hard to complain, right? However, you went for red trinket, which I think is a good call for a jungler. Like, you want to deny that ward coverage of the enemy team, but you never upgraded it. And the upgraded ward trinket is really awesome because it gives you that true sight for 10 seconds. So 10 seconds of true sight, you can clear out a lot of wards in 10 seconds, especially if you got somebody helping you. You also didn't make very good use of that red trinket or the raptor buff, because you only destroyed 1 ward that whole game, and that 1 ward was the one that you destroyed bot lane when you did that gank bot lane where we got the double kill. So definitely need to make better use of that red trinket and also to upgrade it. And then finally, I understand that you're playing an assassin jungler and Nid, but you only place 4 wards the whole game. Alright? One of the best things that like a really mobile jungler like a Nidalee can do is she can get those deep wards into their jungle and still be able to escape. So you could have gotten those deep wards in a lot earlier. We could have known exactly where their jungler was for most of the game. So definitely I would say that's something that we can work on, is trying to get those deep wards in earlier in the game. What you did really well though was ganking. Ganking and map awareness were just fantastic. And you just punish them over and over again. Like, you wouldn't let them back, you wouldn't let them try to all-in us, you wouldn't let them do anything. Like, anytime they tried to do something to equalize a gold lead, you were there to stop them. And then also just great job just disengaging with Nidalee, and then waiting for your abilities to come off a cooldown, and then re-engaging again to allow you to get those extra kills. For a mid laner, the big thing, the big complaint I have is your internet. Right? You gotta have stable internet if you're gonna be playing with a team. And then you also have to make sure that your voice communication, your microphone, software, etc., that's gotta be reliable. You can't just be cutting out all the time with communications. So work on your internet connectivity, work on your microphone. You know, it's worth buying a $10 microphone just to make sure that you can communicate with your team. But what you did really well was you had the 2nd most wards placed on the team. The only person who placed more wards than you was me, which is how it should be if I'm support. And you're also the only person besides me who upgraded their trinket. So great job on upgrading your trinket. And then the final thing is that you won your lane. Like, every minute of the game, you won your lane. So that was fantastic. It allowed you to have a much bigger impact in team fights than their Lux. For ADC, I mean, he had a fantastic game. It's hard to complain. But if I'm going to nitpick, you never upgrade your trinket, right? You think that with all those kills you got, you would find 250 gold to upgrade your trinket. Additionally, you only place 2 wards the whole game. So if you're not going to place wards, that's fine, but you should shift over to Scrying Orb. So at least that we get some use out of your trinket slot, rather than you just not using it. So if you don't intend on warding, just pick up Scrying Orb. So that way we can at least use Scrying Orb. For what you did well, you stayed calm. Just like the entire time, anytime they're freaking all-inning us spot lane, you stayed calm. You were pretty much, an all-star quarterback facing a 9-man rush, and you hit the touchdown pass every single time. So Anyone who's looking to improve their ADC should look at this game because you played fantastic. You were just perfect positioning for team fights. And you definitely earned that pentakill in the end of the game. It wasn't given to you in any way, shape, or form. You earned it. You should be proud of it. For me, for what I did poorly as support, I don't think I made the best use of my lantern in this game. I wasn't able to save enough of my allies with it, and I used it, I think, too much for its shield ability rather than for its escape utility. And then also a couple times I flayed in the wrong direction, right? I flayed them into their tower rather than away from it, things like that. So I need to work on making sure that I flay the correct direction. But what I did really well was I did like the #1 job for support, which is protect the carry, keep the carry alive, and that's what I did. Like every single time they tower dove us, and then the last couple team fights at the end of the game, I kept Kalista alive, which is, you know, what my job ultimately is. I also think I did a better job just like shot calling, but I still need to work on shot calling like in the chaos of a team fight, like calling out who we should be focusing. So overall for the team, our ward coverage was horrible. Absolutely horrible. I placed more wards than the ADC, the jungler, and the top laner combined. And then on top of that, only me and Annie were the ones who upgraded our trinkets in an almost 30-minute game. So definitely need to work on warding, definitely need to work on upgrading trinkets. For what we did well, fantastic team fights. Just awesome team fights, stayed calm, focused the enemy well, punished them for every mistake they made, and were able to escape with only a couple hundred health on each person. Just a great job disengaging and re-engaging, helping your team. So just overall, great team fighting, great job staying calm, great job just staying focused and getting the win. So you can see right here, get the win right after the pentakill. Nothing feels better than that. So I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I certainly did. This is Randomonium signing off.